All right, starting the next mini project. That is the box that goes right here where the gas tank used to be. Please feed the YouTube algorithm by giving the video a like. If you want to see more like this, click subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. If you want to chip in on my expenses, I now have Patreon and YouTube memberships. This held 4 lead acid batteries before, but we're going to repurpose that to hold some different stuff. This is the box, and this is the mechanical plan for the box. We have our Wi-Fi with a SIM card, so it has internet and Wi-Fi, 12-volt battery, some relays, and a motor controller for the heater unit that goes there. Electrically or component-wise, this is the Wi-Fi unit. It's an industrial unit with one antenna for Wi-Fi, one antenna for 4G, 12-volt input supply, and a slot for a SIM card. When I was testing this, I couldn't find a carrier here in America who would let this on their network. They just didn't like the fact that it was a mysterious box from China and the IMEI was not listed as one that they would support. I tried Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and a local one here, and nobody wants it. So I'm going to use it in Wi-Fi only mode for communication between the Tesla BMS and my tablet. And if I can't get anybody in Barcelona to give me a working SIM for it, I will have to send it back and get a new one. Here's a 12-volt battery. Yes, electric vehicles generally need a 12-volt battery, a small one. You don't need a big one which will crank over your engine, but you need a 12-volt supply to power your lights and your instruments and all the other 12-volt things that live in the car, because you don't want to be taking power out of the main battery pack constantly. You want to use this kind of as a buffer between the battery pack and your 12-volt buses. This is the relay board. We will not need this one because the EVTV V2 handles most of the functionality of this one. This is the key switch relay that turns certain things on when the driver turns the key. We will preserve that. This is the relay that handles the lighting up on a light in the dashboard when the motor overheats, and this is a modification I originally made. We've got some fuses that can be reused. We've got a bus bar that can be reused. This is the motor controller for the heater, and all of this has to go in here. All the wiring will come in and out of these 2 holes. We'll have to figure out some physical attachment strategy, but all in all, it shouldn't be too bad to get this thing up and running. Here's the electrical single line diagram. There are going to be 3 bus bars, one for plus 12, one for switched plus 12, and one for 12-volt ground. We've got the battery, the Wi-Fi router, the motor overheat relay, and the heater controller, and we've got some wires coming in and out. So this is pretty straightforward. We'll see how it all works out. Okay, I've got all the components installed here that I can at this point. We'll start here. This is the Wi-Fi and SIM router and the 2 antennas, the 12-volt battery. I have a 12-volt DC master switch, completely turns off all 12 volts power in the car, which is good so I don't have any phantom drain if I just leave it parked for a long time. Go through a 30 amp fuse to the master 12-volt power source, which will go out to the key. We have a 12-volt ground bus bar. We have a switched 12-volt bus bar, which will come back in from the key. Switch 12 volts feeds power to the Wi-Fi, to this relay, which turns on the motor overheat light in the dashboard, And this is the heater control unit. There's a potentiometer will get wired in here, and then the power output to the actual heater coil mounts on the bottom there. All the wires will come in here, and it's pretty empty, but I'm happy with that. Is it pretty? No. Is it the perfect layout? No. But I'm not worried about that right now because I've got to get this car on the road in the next 4 weeks. I've got some little sticky pads and zip ties in order to do cable management once all the cables come in here. Now I'm going to prep this area right here and organize the cables and run everything and wire everything up. Tank box is in place. I was able to eliminate one wire straight away, and that was for the fan in that end of the box, along with the tube that blew the air out of the car. So that tube is gone, that fan wire is gone. Okay, I know where these wires go. I know where these wires go. These ones, not so much. I gotta work out of that initial horrible bundle which of these still have value and where they're going, somewhere back there. Okay, it's the end of day 2, working on the box where the gas tank was. I made really good progress. I need some wire management there, but we've got the heater and the fan wired up through the switch in the dashboard. The over temp relay needs one wire to come in, 12 volt bus, ground, full 12 volt, that's switch 12 volt, battery and Wi-Fi. And it's all looking very good. Now I just have to do this bundle of wires and this will be wrapped up. Should be a good day tomorrow. 1 week to get this box and this box fully installed. Now I'm really making some progress. Okay, this morning I got the main plus 12, ground and switch plus 12 to the rear wired in, and those go all the way back there for future use in the rear battery box. I also wired up the 2 signal wires to this relay that drive the motor over temperature light in the dashboard. Then it was time to test out the plus 12, and I decided to use a power supply instead of a battery in case things go horrifically wrong. And I turned it on and nothing caught on fire, and I actually have the light right there works, which is a very good sign. Light on, off, and you hear that buzzer? That says that there's an open door. There it goes. Buzzer, off, light. Now, bad news, nothing else works. Nothing else that I can see. I may have to check in here. I may have something touching metal making a direct short. That could be a problem. I found one blown fuse. I went and bought a pack of fuses. Now it's time to do more detective work. There is nothing worse than trying to diagnose a 12 volt problem in a car. Almost nothing worse. Just before we wrap up, I want to thank my Patreons, Peter Bouvier and Puppy, for their support. We also just popped over 2,000 subscribers, which is quite a nice milestone for my little channel. All support is greatly appreciated. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, please give it a thumbs up. I see that 81% of the viewers aren't subscribed. Please do, as it does help the YouTube algorithm. Take care and see you next time.